Okay, greetings, salutations, good day, and hi, you guys and gals. Well, we are back after a few weeks away, taking a break and stuff. BTRP is back for a brand new series this month. It's IndieCar's 15th series. Thanks for joining me on this lovely Friday evening. My name is Dag the Pig. Thanks for watching, and joining me in commentary for the first time here is Adak RMS. Hello.
All right, so first of all, nice to have me here in the commentary booth. Of course, we're talking about IndyCar racing, the premier indie virtual YouTuber racing series for open wheelers. So we're talking about indie VTubers getting their names in these Indy cars for the first three races in the IndyCar Virtual Racing Series, a VTuber racing series that is, and I'm actually looking forward to see what the series is coming up with the first three races. Looks like the first round is at Gateway, right?
Yes, we are indeed going to Gateway, so let's go ahead and get to the game screen, and this is, for some reason, an IndyCar with I Hoshino on it.
Yeah,
don't ask me why.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting car here. I mean, you got the purple and the pink, and then we have Hoshino Ai in the side pods over there. I mean, it's a very interesting car to look at. I mean, you got the color combinations and all that. But anyways, really can't wait to see what qualifying entails. Yeah,
in qualifying, we have a maximum of 35 randomly selected drivers coming in. And of those 35, only 30 will get to race here. And due to time constraints, I'm going to have a 2-hour stream length, if it any means possible. We usually skip the qualifying session, showcase the starting grid, and see where things go from here. Alright, usual settings, 1 p.m., race time scale times 5, rolling starts for all races. Laps in time, I have a 25-minute time limit. First round is going to be 44 laps at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Oh yeah, we need to do the track previews. Do you have the Wikipedia page? Do you have a description of Worldwide Technology Raceway? I'm going to go ahead and show you the preview right now.
Alright, so if you allow me to explain about Gateway Motorsports Park, it's a pretty decently length oval. We're talking about, of course, the 1.25 miles of racetrack here. We got a tight turns 1 and 2, and then a wider turns 3 and 4. It's located in Madison, Illinois. And if you want to talk about the fastest lap time here, we're also going to be talking about Joseph Newgarden setting the fastest lap time in the 2017 race with a race lap record of a 24.6317. And also, just a bit of a fun fact here: the banking here is actually much. It's actually steeper on turns 1 and 2, but in turns 3 and 4 it's actually flatter. It's at 11 degrees in the first 2 turns, and in the final 2 it's actually 9 degrees. Here's some fun facts for you.
Very interesting. You are indeed knowledgeable about your racing. I'm going to show the rest of this preview lap, and then we will get to the action already.
Alright, so you can see here, turns 3 and 4 are much flatter than turns 1 and 2. And although it is wider on the radius, and it is flatter, you should be able to have a pretty similar exit speed, if not more, on turns 3 and 4. So with that out of the way, we are going to expect some variables in the racing lines taken in the first 2 turns, and then the final 2 turns. So there's going to be some variation on which lines these drivers are going to take. And also, just a bit of a fun fact, the drivers are virtual YouTubers themselves, although we might have to think about them more. I wonder how the lore goes in, VTRP.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens here. We're going to go ahead and load right now. Let's qualifying. Right. We'll skip to the starting grid for the race. 5 drivers won't qualify for the race out of 35 that get in. We have our usual 40-car grid, but only a maximum of 35 can enter qualifying. 30 drivers will go in this opening round, and we are going to press finished session, and oh no, Minta did not qualify.
Oh dear. Oh, so we're gonna see the drivers who have failed to qualify, and this includes Cinder, Watagashi Uno, Nacho Neko, the illustrator for Gargura, otherwise known as Amashiro Natsuki, and then we have Nero-sama and Min Fantome, who are the DNQers in this session. So a very shocking set of circumstances to see the entrants who have been DSQ'd, and also looking at Doobie and Hanamori Healthy and Anonnon, who are taking up the final three spots of the grid. So this is a very interesting qualifying result that we're seeing here.
All right, so pole will go to. We'll have 1 point going to pole for each race. There's no bonus point for fastest lap because we don't have all day just to scan through each and every driver to see what their fastest lap time is. But we'll see who will get the first point of this month's series. It's Shiki Miyoshino in her nice brand new houndstooth livery.
Also, just wanted to give a bit of a highlight here because we actually have two drivers who actually set identical lap times in the front row. Because we have Miyoshino Shiki and Ojiki actually setting up identical lap times. But I believe if we're using Formula 1 rules, Shiki actually set the lap time first and then Ojiki, and Ojiki was only able to match. So what a tight qualifying session this is once we have already simulated it.
All right, I'm going to write the names on my notepad I have here. We're going to scan through them one by one. Shiki and Ojiki make up the opening row. Row 2, Ami Amami of the former Prism Projects. Alongside Bao, Akuma Nimane, better known as Numi, along with Umiya Emma. Newcomer starting off in row 4, Yuki Sakuna, alongside Lena Lazar and the adorable Uri Tenten. And then 10 through 12, we have Suopatra, Shy Lily, and Saraway. 13 to 15, we have Katanya, Shigure Ui, and Ayamy. Dokibird Annie and Fallen Shadow. I see you in the live chat. Welcome. Let's see. Doki, Annie. You can make a commentary about each of these drivers. Brief comments about each of them while I write down the names. Tomoe Umari, who won the Talent Freedom 100 last May at the IMS Oval. Amiya Aranya, the winner of the Indy 500 back in May. And Yaso Toiki, Iki Pion Pion, Vividly Vivi, and Ida Pochi. Rurudo Nina Seltame and Hoshifuri Iku. Rurudo Nina Iku. And the last three are, of course, Ananon, Hanamori Healthy, and Doobie.
Wow, what an interesting grid here that we're seeing. We have like 30 cars already set for the grid. It's going to be very funny to see if Doobie actually would be actually on a road from last to first. That will be a very, very nice thing to see if that is going to be the case. Also, I'm noticing a very good amount of artists, virtual YouTubers in the list. One of which being Rurudo, who is the official illustrator for Tokiyami Towa, and Ida Pochi, who is also the official illustrator for Pavolia Rene.
Yeah, quite a few holomamas, which I like to refer to them as, and already a few of them have won previous series championships. Let's just see how it is for this opening round of the championship here, as I'm going to get my music up in the background, and then we'll be set to go. Are you ready, Adak?
Well, Well, we are ready for the racing here. I'm just so excited to see cars racing here, virtual YouTuber cars racing. Of course, we're talking about someone, actually myself, who has had experience hosting races based on virtual YouTubers. So there's no better feeling on wanting to see your virtual YouTuber car succeed on a racetrack. I mean, if dramas happen, I mean the dramas do happen, but it will be very, very sweet to see those cars get on the top step of the podium, or at the very least, or if it's right here, it's victory lane.
All right. Let's let the music play, and then we will get to the action already. Opening round here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. 44 laps here. As I gotta make sure I got the controls set here, as here come the pace car. To lead everyone out.
As we we just wanted to notice here that we're going to be seeing some tight competition here between the front row drivers. We have the Shiki car and the Ojiki cars lining up on the front row. Shiki actually has the inside line by virtue of pole position. Ojiki will run alongside her on the outside lane for the start of the race, as the cars are going to get into turns 3 and 4. Dak, what are your expectations?
I expect some heavyweight battles to ensue here, not just for this round, but for all 12 rounds here. Here comes the safety car going in, and we are set to go here. Opening round of 12 here. It's IndieCar's 15th series here in November 2024. Let's get right to the action right now. Shiki and Ojiki lead everyone off to the first turn. Here we go.
And it looks like Ojiki, trying to go around the outside of Shiki, coming into the first 2 turns, trying to make use of the line. However, we was beaten by both Shiki and Ayamy coming into turns 3 and 4. Looks like the outside row pole sitter is going to lose out some 2 positions, but not before Ojiki fights back into second place. And now Ojiki has a very good run off of the final corner.
And 1 lap down, Shiki, Ojiki, Ayamy. That's your top 3 as it stands. Everyone made it through this first lap with no issue.
As Ojiki actually retakes the lead away from Shiki, and now look into 4th place here. There might be a move down the inside, and that's Nimune going into the inside line here. It looks like she wants to get into 3rd place. And it looks like she's able to get there, but not before Suapatra making a very good run off of turn 4 and still alongside by Nimune. Actually beats her in this drag race, but in the breaking into turn 1, Suapatra tries to defend her 4th place, and then Nimune tries to go around the outside, but let's see if Patra can nail the exit, and it looks to me that she might be able to.
Ayamy up in front at the moment, one of the 5 newcomers to IndyCar this month, along with, of course, Doobie, Yuki Sakuna, and 2 names whose names escape me, Limu and what's that 5th name? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember.
But anyways, we...
Oh yeah,
Alright, so we now have...
Yeah.
As we get to see Shiki retake the lead here, we are seeing 3 wide action already in the back straight. Ayamy now trying to fight back against Shiki down into turns 3 and 4. Nail biting action, end-to-end stuff here in Gateway, as we are now coming into 40 laps to go.
Someone may have lost some car parts. Can't tell who it is. I have to scan through, and Katanya.
Oh dear.
Her front wing is not here.
And this will actually affect cornering in the, in these very downforce dependent corners here for these Indy cars. And it looks like Ketanya will immediately head into the pits alongside, looks like Shy Lily and another car coming up. And that's a great move around the outside by Doki Bird. And also Rudo trying to have a good run here, but it gets bunched up. This is some serious super speedway stuff here. Super speedway racing here, as we get to see, it looks like Nimune, Shy Lily, and Ketanya, they will be the first movers into the pits.
Yeah, I think they all got the same issue. No front wing. They'll have them reinstalled thanks to R Factor Sim Racing magic.
Awesome.
Meanwhile,
but anyways,
Shiki's leading here. Already won 2 races in IndyCar action. The former Corpo Car World Series champion, and currently enjoying her time here in this IndyCar series, already winning 2 races, both on ovals, intermediate ovals. This is another sort of intermediate oval that we're seeing here.
Well, you can consider it as a short track by IndyCar standards, while it is an intermediate by stock car standards. Looking into the onboards here of what looks to be Ayamy, as you can see here, Swapatra, the already catching up, and Ayamy now going down the inside of Shigure here, trying to force Shigure around the outside. And it looks to me that Ayamy might just be able to beat her down to the racing line, and it will be, it looks like Ayamy taking the race lead, and there's just 3 wide further back.
Swapatra currently running 3rd here, yet to score her first win in Indy racing action. Has come close a few times. Currently being pursued by Bao as she's trying to chase after Shiki and Ayamy, both former Prism Project members.
And I just wanted to add here, Doki Bird is now coming as now directly in front of Ayamy. Oh, and we also want to highlight the part that, oh, that's Nimune actually stuck in the pit lane. What's going on? R-Factor
being silly as per usual. Oh no, her Tenjin is 29th. Are you kidding me, man? Shy Lily.
Oh dear.
Pit lane again.
Also, Shy Lily actually has lost both the front and the rear wings. That is actually also going to be something that's not going to be for the championship for Shy Lily. Meanwhile, there's some very great action here down the backstretch, and now coming into turns 3 and 4, looking into the gaps here between Ayamy and Shiki, and at least based on my optics here, it's 0.4 of a second behind for the leading 2 drivers.
Yeah, 0.369, separating 1 and 2 as apparent. Ayamy, let's go on the inside. Trying to go past her senpai in the former agency. Nothing doing, Shiki remains ahead.
But it looks like Ayamy actually has a great run here off of the final corner here, and it looks like Ayamy will try again on the first 2 corners. Shiki will have to go around wide, hope for a better exit on the outside line while squeezing Ayamy on the inside line, but Ayamy manages to beat Shiki down into the backstretch, and now it's going to be Ayamy now leading this race. But watch out for the drivers further back. They're actually hungry for places.
Saraway up to 3rd now, followed by Ojiki and Bao, currently making up your top 5 as we have completed 12 laps here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Oh, you can see here, that Ayamy was actually blocking Shiki's exit, and while Ayamy will have some slipstream help, there's contact actually into. Yeah, there is some damage already, I believe, into Shiki's front wing, but I don't think it phases her at the moment. But look at Saraway here, further back. Saraway is actually looking for an opportunity. What a great run for Saraway, trying to make it 3 wide, but doesn't want to pressure it too much. They make contact here between the 2, but it looks like Saraway is going to hang on, but not before Shiki takes place back.
Who's in pit lane? Still Numi? Are you kidding me? What is going on with her? Not a good start to her Numi here.
But meanwhile, Ayamy's going to try to defend against Saraway. Now he's
Saraway
going to be
up to 2nd,
fight.
trying to vie for the lead against the newcomer here.
Ooh, yeah. Looks like Saraway's going to be able to take the position.
Currently side by side with Ayamy.
Ooh, but Saraway's going to be able to take the lead here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see
but all those cars having fun.
Yeah, lots of racing action here.
Go down to 29.
Yeah, with Nimune's retirement here. Meanwhile, we got Ayamy now having a great exit against Saraway. Ojiki is now catching up.
Here come the champion of the 2nd Indy Lights Series. Already with very fine experience in the top division of IndyCar racing with a few wins to her name. The older sister of the now retired Rady. doing pretty good here in the top 5 as it stands. Two Prism Project members sandwiching Sarway.
It looks to me. Oh, actually, just want to pay attention. We might see moves down the inside here. There's Ojiki, the former front row sitter here, now trying to salvage something from this race, or rather limit the damage here. Look at Shiki now, meanwhile, trying to attack Saraway and Ayamy. Ayamy now currently holding this race lead. But let's take a look at further back here and see how Ojiki's doing.
Ojiki trying to think up of a good move. Trying to find an opportunity to strike. I've noticed quite a bit of passes in turn 2 so far.
Yeah, you're looking at the exit, and of course, succeeding in is the back straight. So you probably need a good exit from turn 2. And meanwhile, we have Ojiki now already overtaking the drivers now into second. Let's see how Ojiki does against Ayamy.
Trying to catch up to Ayamy. Making a pass in turn 1. Ayamy trying to rubber band her position back, but Ojiki goes up in front.
And
being
also look at Ayamy
by the French VTuber Sarway.
Oh, yeah, you can see Ayamy's now dropped down to third here after she was kind of forced off after the exit of turn 2, and now she's going to be under pressure from that looks like the drivers behind her. And meanwhile, as we're seeing here, Ayamy trying to actually maintain her spot. So yeah, there was a bit of a slight disconnect, but you're still good. Anyways, Omari now trying to catch up to Shiki, who's now running in 4th place. Saraway now trying to provide some challenge here into Ojiki here. Let's see what these 4 drivers have in store. As Omari now tries to beat Shiki at the exit of turn 4. Let's see how they fare into turn 1.
Has the advantage of the inside, maybe, but nothing doing in her attempt to pass Shiki. Saraway goes up into the lead at turn 2 on the backstretch.
Yeah, as we're seeing here, also Ojiki now being under pressure by Shiki, while also trying to defend against that looks like another driver for the back, which we'll talk about that later. But anyways, Ojiki's now trying to defend 2nd place as Saraway hangs on into the lead as Omari now tries to go down the inside against Ojiki. Let's see how it goes.
Currently single file at the moment. Let's see who will break from the racing line. It looks like Tomoe, but we'll slow down a bit. Shiki will go back up to 3.
And it looks to me that I just wanted to highlight a few things here, because we have a huge pack of cars now currently on the main straight here. They should be at around maybe 6 to 7 seconds, the last drivers on that pack. So there's a huge crash happening, meanwhile as Ojiki takes the lead and with Shiki taking 2nd. So if there's a big crash at the front, so expect a huge one, especially if it happens at the back straight or the front stretch.
Yeah, this is a short oval, and they're running higher downforce kits than usual. I'm experimenting with a higher downforce kit this time around instead of the usual short oval kit, so slightly slower times.
Meanwhile, we have Shiki going down the inside against Ojiki, but Ojiki has a better exit off of turn 2.
2 cars with unique patterns. Go ahead.
It looks like Saraway. And it looks like Shiki now will hang on to the race lead. But look at Bao though. Where did Bao come from?
Bao. One of the 2 drivers in IndieCar who has competed in all series so far. The other being, gasp, shock, awe, this adorable VTuber right here.
Interesting plate livery here for Tenten here, as you can see Tenten actually running further back down the grid. In front is Rudo and Shigure Ui, both peas in the pie as far as illustrations go, both mamas to Tokoyami Toa and Ozra Sbarra respectively in the Hall Life. Meanwhile, we now have Bao in the race lead. I wonder how Lazar and Saroe is as far as the standings go. Ooh, and it's an interesting look here,
who finished runner-up in the 500 last May. Certainly trying to channel her inner Scott McLaughlin. She, of course, being a Kiwi.
But meanwhile, we also have Lazar trying to make a move against Saroe at the exit of turn 2. Lazar and now actually having a very good run off of the back straight, coming into turns 3 and 4. Looking into the rear end onwards of Bao. Will Bao be able to hang on?
Well, over the halfway point of this race, so races are official once we have gone past halfway.
And as you can see here, it's going to be too wide for these 4 drivers. Now we have the inside line actually working. Yeah, the inside line is working for the drivers who want to make a move into turns 1 and 2. And as for turns 3 and 4, the outside line is probably very effective as well. So if you want to attack, you got to hang around the inside at turns 1 and 2. And if you want to defend, go around the outside at turns 3 and 4. Maybe that's the suggestion.
Whoa! Be very careful there.
Interesting here.
Cars driving very close to each other. I don't think you see that normally in real life IndyCar. Cars going very close to each other. It's usually a single file action. We're seeing 2 wide, 3 wide among the Indies. Out of nowhere, having a very good Shadow, who won the last race of the previous series at Topeka, finding her way into P4 at the moment with 15 laps to go here at Gateway.
I'm actually very interested to see how much of these positions these drivers have gained and lost throughout the course of the race. Meanwhile, we are looking into more potential battles here. Just wanted to point out that Saroe now actually has a pretty commanding lead here at the moment, but it will not be for long. Maybe if there's traffic or suddenly the conditions just doesn't land onto her, then Saroe might just be able to lose her gap that is around 5.4 5 tenths of a second.
Look who made her way up to the top 10 currently from a start of 30th. One of the other newcomers, Doobie.
This is what I mentioned earlier in the stream. I mentioned this in the stream. We might be seeing it last and first. After almost not making the race altogether, Doobie is actually making a charge in the field. And looking at where Doobie is right now, Doobie now running in what I believe in the mid-10s. And now trying to make a move against Annie and Fallen Shadow in a 3-wide move at the exit of turn 2.
Look at her go into 5th. What a start to her IndyCar tenure right here. Trying to chase after Shiki now.
Yeah, it's Shiki, Lazar, Ayamy, and Ayamy, and then Saroe, who is now currently leading this race. And now look at Ayamy now trying to make a move down the inside.
Look at Ayamy go! Already tried to get her very first win in this new competition she's in after having won at least a race in Corpo Car, where she won at the Miami Bayside Run Street Course, if I recall correctly. Here she is for the first time in IndyCar competition.
Ooh, just want to point out that we have already passed 3/4 of the race distance here. Saroe now struggling to hang on as Lazar's going to try to make her move. Nimone now finally back out on track and no front and rear wing. Oh, this is
down
this is a sprint car.
27 laps. Yeah. Yikes.
And also at this point, Nimura is now running a sprint car in an intermediate track, which also doesn't help with things. Meanwhile, we now have Ayamy now taking this race lead. Saroe now hanging on in second. I'm interested to see where Doobie is right now.
Doobie in 5th currently.
There's every chance
to get past Trundo. Where Alex Pillow at?
Oh, this is gonna be interesting here by Fallen. But anyways, Fallen Shadow manages to defend around the outside. That's what I mentioned earlier here. If you want to defend, hang around the outside at turns 3 and 4. And if you want to attack, hang on at turns 1 and 2 on the inside.
Whoa!
As we get to see Saraway now having a pretty decent run against Ayamy, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Lazar hangs on in 3rd. Doobie is actually now in 4th as Saraway now tries to retake the lead.
Nothing doing here for Saraway. Ayamy still trying to be on the defense. Gotta watch out for both Lena and Saraway as we come down to the last 8 laps.
And also, Doobie now under pressure from Fallen Shadow here. This is for 4th place. Meanwhile, these drivers in 4th and 5th have to take note of Lazar and Saraway's battle while also paying attention to theirs. Let's just hope that, oh dear, this is actually going to be a bit more at stake here for Doobie because now Bao and Umari are going to try to do... Oh, where did Umari come from around the outside?
A whole bunch of cars grouped up together. Doobie losing a few positions. Tomoe Umari going up to 4th. Lena Lazar tried to go for the lead against Ayamy. Onto the backstretch.
Lazar needs a good exit here, and right now using the trap and the slipstream to make it work. Will Lazar try to go down the inside of turns 3 and 4? It will be yes, but
Nothing
again,
doing.
Ayamy will have the advantage. The advantage is the outside. It is the outside line here at turns 3 and 4. Just want to check on the rest of the field here.
6 laps here. 6 laps left.
Meanwhile, Mari now trying to have her shot in the race lead. Oh, that's a great run!
Lena Lazar up to front. Tomoe Umari 2nd.
Oh, and look, watch out though on the outside line. As we mentioned, the outside line is actually very good on turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, we got Umari now.
Tomoe tries to jump up to the front, tries to stick. Not quite there. Maybe it after turn 2 does. Less than 5 to go. Lena regresses a couple spots to 3.
That's not looking good for Saraway though. Saraway has just been losing out to 2 drivers at turns 3 and 4. Especially looking into the rest of the field here. I'm not sure where Doobie is right now, but watch out for this battle here.
Doobie is in the top 10. Ayamy back up in front. The battle for the podium is still well in doubt.
And meanwhile, we're still looking at single file, but this will change very, very soon here. As you can see here, Ayamy might be complacent at the final corners, especially in the final stages of the race, but look at the gaps now drop down.
Lena! Nothing doing. Ami cuts off the inside of the first couple turns. Fallen Shadow up to 3.
Ooh, it's going to be pretty tight here. And Ayamy hangs around the outside, as I've mentioned. 2 laps to go. Let's see how this goes.
Lena Lazar trying to strike, does strike, goes up into the lead, a vital lead position. White flag next time by.
Meanwhile, as we want to mention here, there's a beehive of cars behind Lazar. This is going to be a free-for-all for the 2nd place spot, unless Lazar mucks it up in this final lap. I think Lazar might have a chance at the win, but look at Ayamy trying to go for one last gasp.
Anyone can still win here, provided the right move is made at the right time. Ayamy! Hoping to completely overtake, nothing doing! And coming down to the last stretch. And it's gonna be Lena Lazar opening up the 15th series with the W here at Gateway.
Oh, that's a great win here for Lena Lazar here. He took the lead at the right time. Manages the tires.
Newcomer, Ayamy taking P2. Fallen Shadow rounds out the podium.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a popular podium celebration here. Lena Lazar taking her win after managing the tires very, very well and striking at the right possible time. Ayamy, though, we have to give her credit. First time out in this series and is now able to essentially hang on into the podium spots. She did start on pole, if I'm not mistaken, so this will be a very, very popular podium.
Lena Lazar, that is her second IndyCar win. Going back to, I believe, 2023, the Indy Grand Prix at the IMS road course.
And also just want to give a bit of a shout out to multiple drivers inside the top 10, especially Doobie, who started at the back after almost not qualifying for the race. Let's give some kudos to Doobie as well, from especially since he started from the back and her getting up into 10th. This is also a very great achievement.
Yeah, so yeah, Doobie, 30th to 8th. That deserves a this sound. Well done. Couple of newcomers making their presence is felt here as I go ahead and write down the names in this text file, and then I'm going to calculate the points.
All right, so as Dag is going to essentially record the results in essentially the first round of the IndyCar VTuber Racing Series. Just wanted to run out the results here, as we've already seen in the first 13 positions here. So Lena Lazar takes the win here in Gateway in the debut round of the season. Ayamy takes second, Fallen Shadow third, Bao fourth, Yasutoiki fifth, Annie sixth, Tomoe Umari with a valiant fight in seventh, Doobie eighth, Saroe ninth, and Vivili Vivi in 10th. Ojiki 11th after starting on the front row, Kiki Pyeonpyeon in 12th, Hoshifari Iku 13th, Ayamy 14th, Suopatra 15th, Yoshinoshiki is in 16th, Shigure Ui 17th, Ami Aranya is in 18th, Anonnon 19th, and Hanamori Healthy rounds out the top 20. Ida Pochi rounds out 21st with Omiya Enma in 22nd. And then we have Nina Saotome in 23rd, Burudo 24th. Yuki Sakuna also making her debut, I believe, in IndyCar. Didn't have a great race, but manages to hang on as well. I believe she is the last driver on the lead lap. Doki Bird Kitanya, Hore Tenten, Shai Lily, and Akuma Nimune were involved in separate incidents with damage on their cars. They were able to get it repaired. However, they don't finish on the lead lap and are, of course, at least a lap down.
All right, thanks for the rundown. So, 70 points goes to the race winner here, as I try to find the file to lock in the points and verify that things look a-okay.
Just want to give a bit of a fun fact while Dag is just going to write out the information here. Doki Bird, of course, one of the few drivers who were involved on the start liability. And also, can we check on the incidents on these 5 drivers? I mean, I don't think it's going to be possible due to the time constraints, but if we do have time, we would like to see the replays of the incidents where possible. That is, if it is possible.
I think I should have replays turned on, luckily.
I see. So we will check on the replays possibly. Yeah, we should be able to see replays after the race. So especially I wanted to see what has actually happened to the 5 cars. Especially I wanted to take a look at Doki Bird at the start of the race, and especially onto, I believe, one of the cars who had both their wings sheared off.
Doki.
So as you can see here, coming into the start, she was swamped, and it looks to me that it's still pretty much a swamped affair for Doki Bird, while she still manages to hang around as usual, coming into the first 2 laps.
What do you think the incident might be? Like somewhere around here or something, or?
All right, so go to the lap previous. go to the previous lap and see where. Okay, this is where the damage comes. So I believe this is where it all starts. Ah, it's at the main straight. It looks to me that got sheared off by Shigure Ui.
Yeah.
Oh man, so that is where the damage comes from. So as you can see here, Dokibird misjudges the the size of the car and gets the rear front wing sheared off. Unfortunately, at least that's for her. Also, what about the other car that actually had the front and rear wings sheared? Nimune, yeah, Nimune and the rest of the field. I want to see what exactly happened there. Ooh, yeah. So I believe it's a bit of an error in the pit lane. Oh dear! Oh, that's Shy Lily misjudging. Oh yeah, that looks like Shy Lily just misjudging the exit, just misjudging the size of the car, collides with Nimune at the pit lane. Oh dear, that's not gonna look good.
And they say Assetto Corsa pit lane AI is bad enough. Oof.
And also we have 1010 also making contact for good measure. Well, that's if you want to talk about a set of course, that's mainly because the cars are essentially ghosted in the pit lane. However, in R Factor, the cars are not ghosted, which explains why. So anyways, that should be it for the first round in the IndyCar VTuber Racing Series. Let's move on into the second round, shall we?
We are gonna. I'm gonna take a break for just a couple moments, and then we will get to the action for round 2. We're gonna be racing at. Where are we going next, Adak?
It's going to be Long Beach, round 2 of the season, first road course and street course of the season.
Indeed, yeah. All right, so let's take a break for just a couple moments, and then we will head out to the West Coast, Southern California, Long Beach for round 2. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I just want to give a reminder that I will be on a tea break, so I will probably be out for the first 2 or 3 minutes, so just wanted to give a bit of a heads up.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna head on over to round 2 at Long Beach. That's the game. Okie dokie. Back to race weekend. Once again, if you're joining, welcome. This is the 15th IndyCar series. My name is, of course, Dag, the usual porcine play-by-play commentator. Joining me is Adak RMS in commentary with me for the first time.
Well, it's not actually the first time for a stream, yes, but we're already coming into the second race. So, just want to give a bit of a preview here to Long Beach while I still have Snickers in my mouth, so excuse me.
A nice tasty Snickers bar. Very nice candy bar.
So anyways, I'm going to clear my mouth for a while.
I think I have the number of laps set at 19 for this race, interestingly enough. But anyway, we're gonna have a look here at the track preview.
So anyways, allow me to talk about details. So we're here at Long Beach here, coming into the long first corner. Not exactly a first corner here, but still a flat-out main straight here. But then you get into the braking here, into turn 1.
Very dangerous part of the track.
And then coming into Aquarium Way, and then turns 2 and 3 at South Chestnut Place. And then you come into turns 4 at around 2nd gear. And then here's turn 5, coming into West Shoreline Drive. Get a good exit here for a pretty long stretch here. Coming into 5th gear, and then you get into turn 6, which is a pretty slow corner here. Downshift into 2nd. Meanwhile, we have turn 7 and into turn 8 to East Seaside Way. Again, a good exit here is very crucial here, as if this long backstretch coming into turn 9. And then turns 9, 10, and 11, I would like to highlight here as we're coming into the section now. It's very, very tight and squiggly. I remember the Formula Hall Life race at Long Beach. Oh, you can see the random here and stepping out as well. And also, there's a lot of crashes actually happening at the final hairpin. So watch out for that area. That's also going to be a danger zone for the drivers.
That's Long Beach in a nutshell. So, qualifying will have only 32 drivers. We could do 30. I could do 35, but there's a risk of some of the cars getting broken and glitched up and possibly causing R factor to break. So I'm not going to take the risk. We're going to have 32 drivers in qualify, but only 30 will get to race. 19 laps here as we go ahead and load.
So anyway, just want to give a bit of information about Long Beach here. Around 2 miles of racetrack, around 1.968 miles, at around 11 turns. The fastest lap record is set by an IndieCar in 2022 by Colton Herta with a 1:05.309. Of course, Long Beach has had a very esteemed history of hosting big races such as Formula One, Formula E, and at least in the past. And today it hosts Trans Am, IMSA, and IndyCar. So I can't wait to see how the first road course race of the season goes.
Oh no, Doobie and Pochi miss out.
Oh dear. So that's Doobie, Ida, Pochi out. Doobie, after especially a top 10 in the debut race at Gateway, is now going to be sitting in the sidelines. And also another driver, Ida Pochi, who doesn't have a good race, all things considered. Although that it is, if you don't count the top 10, is good. But I say he's done very, very well though to get into the top 20. And meanwhile, we got Yuki Sakuna though, sitting on pole position on her second race of the season.
Well then. Already making her presence felt, one of the newcomers here. Debuted like a week or two ago. Not to join this series.
And also, it feels like, her debut had a lot of fanfare, and of course, she's got hundreds of thousands of fans just waiting to see her again, and see her again after the debut and all that stuff. But yeah, Sakuna, a very interesting fellow. Let's see what she can do on the racetrack as well. So we get to see Ayamy also continuing to have a good performance. Suopatra and Ojiki maintaining their spot inside the top 10. Shai Lily and Bao will now also start at the front with Doki Bird in 12. Also, a bit of a highlight here. Lena Lazar, who is the previous winner, will start 15th. And now we get to see Amashiro Natsuki or Nachoneko in 16th. Shigure Ui is in 19th. Ayamy 22nd, at least the one that I can remember. And so, looking into the rest of the field here, let's see how the rest of the cars line up here, especially from 26 on back. Just wanted to see how they go.
Alright, Nacho, Tomoe, Emma, Ui, Kawasaki Sui joins the fray.
Yeah, with Natasha Nyanes in 21st, Ayamy in 22nd, Kiki Pianpian 23rd, and then we have Ami Aranya in 24th, and Nina Sao Tome in 25th. Let's see of the drivers on 26 on back here, and then we also have Fallen Shadow, Captain Hana in 26 and 27th, Hanamori Healthy, Saraway, and Akuma ni Mune will start at the back of the grid.
That's all 30 cars in place, and we are set to go. And we're set to the standard view. Make sure all 30 cars look perfectly fine, and they all do, I guess. We're going to be racing 19 laps or 25 minutes, whichever elapses
goes first.
Yep.
All right, so we'll see how this race goes here in Long Beach. Of course, Yuki Sakuna taking her first pole position in the IndieCar VTuber Racing Series. Very nice to see a hot shot Indy now. Yeah, and only the second race too. It's also going to be an interesting sight to see how this goes for her. So let's get the race underway to see how it goes. So it looks like it's going to be a rolling start.
Indeed, all races are rolling starts here in IndieCar. It's we'll just fast forward through much of the pace lap. It starts maybe here. Remember, in rolling start rules, at least the first 10 cars, all 10 cars at least, have gotta make it through the pace lap unstuck the whole entire way in order for the start to be valid. Otherwise, we'll have to restart the whole entire process. But we are set to begin here. Actually, not really, because there's a car intent, so we'll have to nullify that. There's a car stuck in the tent for some reason. Start over.
Alright, it happens. But anyways, I've seen stuff like this happen in Long Beach. I mentioned this earlier before we start racing in Long Beach, that there's gonna be some chaos at the final hairpin, and I'm right.
And since I had to restart the pace lap, then there goes the whatchamacallit, there goes the TV ticker when we actually get to the race. Oh, there's the defending champion stuck again at the aquarium. Once more.
Oh man. Yeah, it happens. Let's just see if all these drivers are able to get home in one piece. And it looks like everyone is still able to get
okay, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Now we can actually get to the race, but expect the TV ticker to not show up, because this track has issues where they're making the TV ticker show up. But we'll see what happens. Suki Sakuna, Ami Amami, 2 rookies at it for this first street race of this month's series. Here we go to the green flag right now. Whoa, good jump by Ami Amami.
Oh yeah, you can see here that Ayamy has actually had a very good launch at the start here, coming to turn 1, already building a gap there to Sakuna.
Here comes
Meanwhile,
the chaos.
Tenjin now goes down the inside. Oh, someone's made it.
That's a lot of cars having issues here. Whoa, man.
And that's Gitania actually flip up and over. And there's also someone making a contact here. That's Hana. That's 3 wide in the street race. That's not going to happen. That's not going to end well. More drivers, more bodywork scattered across the first sector of the racetrack. And we have Ami Amami. Oh, we've got drivers actually going off very wide here at the corner.
Hurry,
so what a chaotic first lap that has been.
Hurry, Tenjin looking for her second IndyCar win and first full-length win. Her only win so far being a make-up half-distance race back in the very first series in May 2021 on this very track.
Meanwhile, as we're going to see the gaps here between the cars here, Amami and Tenjin already are building up gaps between each other. And also there's Anonon now running in third. Meanwhile, we have a lot of cars already retiring, as we've seen on the first lap. There's someone actually attacking on the first corner here. Meanwhile, get to see multiple cars in the pit lane already.
I don't know much about race retirements, but there's certainly a bunch of cars going to pit lane. But we got the race up in front to worry about. Oh, the Ayamy.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Also, I just wanted to highlight one thing here. Ayamy actually had that gap at the start of lap 2, and now you get to see both of them not actually closing out to each other. It's either Ayamy losing touch, or it's going to be Tenjin now going down the inside.
Very Tenjin going up into the lead. Might tonight finally be the night in which she breaks her long winless drought and gets her second win. But it's still
I don't want to jinx.
Way too early to call, because we got 17 more laps to worry about as Shiki and Nyanners are both one down, and Iku go in, and a few more drivers come in.
I just wanted to highlight this one. Tenjin now has something to do. If she's able to defend against Ayamy, which Ayamy has already gone down the inside once again. It's too early to call if Tenjin's going to go end her already long win drought. But Tenjin, I believe, in my opinion, might just need to have that bit of defensive spark on that car.
Out.
Oh, that's Kitanya and makes contact with Tenjin.
Replay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Look at the replay. Just made contact and
oh yeah, that's Kitanya actually flipped over for the second time in 3 laps. Again, you gotta feel for Tenjin here after having a good shot of already leading this race.
Is out of the race.
Oh, yeah,
that's the first casualty of the series. We may have to come back to that later. Nacho Neko with a wee bit of damage.
Yeah, rear wing and engine cover is now gone. Meanwhile, Ayamy now hangs on to the race lead with, of course, the stricken Tenjin already coming into the pits.
Jeez Louise, look at that. There's a bit of damage here. Who's also hurt? Kitanya is a DNF. Iku is done.
Oh, that's Iku. Yeah, there's no rear left tire, and it's actually blocking Tenjin and Ojiki as well. Oh dear, what's going on here? Iku just can't move, and Ojiki is now stuck.
Well, it's street racing action at its finest.
You know, I thought the aero had seen it back. I mean, I remember having these Formula Hall Life cars race at this very track, and I remember actually the cars actually are piling up between one another at the final hairpin. I haven't seen flips like this. I haven't seen leaders get collided like that in from what I've seen in Long Beach until now. What a insight that we've been seeing here.
I'd like to say something. I just found out I forgot to reduce the damage setting for this race. It's currently stuck at 100%. The damage setting for this race is supposed to be 60%. So this race is already rigged. I am sorry to report, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
So I gotta play this.
Oh no.
So I guess we have to essentially just keep things going. I believe, in my opinion, the race should go ahead as normal because we've already passed 23% or rather 25% race distance here.
Oh man, look at the gap between the race leader and second, who is Kawasaki Sui.
Oh my goodness, where did she come from?
From a start of 20th, improving like 18 positions. Healthy, who won the last race at this track several series ago, currently third. She definitely likes racing here.
Meanwhile, there's Aranya and Iku, I believe.
Oh, no, Yuki
that's Yuki
Sakuna!
Sakuna. Oh my gosh! I mean, I've seen cars get flipped multiple times over, but this is just a whole bunch of this whole new set of cakes.
A lot of casualties already in these first 4 laps. Well, we're currently in lap 5 at the moment.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I don't think I forgot to mention actually. In R Factor you have the safety car setting, and I believe this is turned off for this race, right?
Yeah. You know the aforementioned half-distance Long Beach race? It was originally supposed to be full distance. Safety car was deployed, but got stuck, so the race couldn't finish. So I had to turn it off the rest of the way, and I had to reset the whole race half distance, and that's the race Tenten won a really long time ago, back in
May 2021.
May 2021. Yeah.
But anyways, the race will have to go on as usual with this much of a casualty here. What an attritional race we have been seeing here in Long Beach already in the second round of the season. Multiple drivers a lap down, with Sarway, I believe, being the only driver on the lead lap. Well, not exactly the only driver on the lead lap. I just want to correct everyone here. The last driver on the lead lap, the gap between Ayamy and Kawasaki Sui is in already at 10 seconds.
Healthy dealing with a lapped car ahead of her as she tries to pursue Sui.
Yeah,
Lena
the contact for good measure.
Lena just lets Healthy passerby as Lena goes into pit lane. And it looks like, whoa, Kotone!
Oh, that's Kotone! I believe she hit the wall and she was involved into a spin.
Hi, Chrono!
You can see what happened here.
Hi, Chrono. Welcome.
Well, if it ain't Chrono here. Anyways, oh yeah, clip the wall, hit on into the concrete.
And
I won't be surprised. Error. Yeah, an unforced error one, and also blocks Emma for good
Kotone.
measure. Stuck at the apex of that corner is not going to cause a lot of trouble for the car.
Yeah, I think she's done.
Coming into pass.
I think Kotone's done. Yeah, looks like Kotone's done for the race, so I think she'll be marked as having a busted engine. Meanwhile, Ayamy.
So looking into the rest of the field here, I wanted to know about Amami's gap to second place now, and see if it has closed down, because it was at 15 seconds. It's now dropped down to second. So
yeah.
Watch out for Kawasaki Sui and Hanamori Healthy catching up to Ayamy.
Well, never mind about Healthy, because she's already gone.
Yeah, front left's gone, front wing's gone, stranded in the middle of the track, and she is going to be an instant DNF.
So, inheriting third position is Kiki, the Aussie bunny rabbit VTuber.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Australians here, I feel like, I'm not sure if this joke has been beaten down to the bush multiple times, but there's this whole upside down thing. Does she see an upside down?
I think maybe during a qualifying session for the VGTC at Macau, maybe? I don't know, I may be remembering things wrong. I'm not quite sure. Nina 4th and Umiya Emma
10-10.
5th. 10-10, just trying to salvage some points. And
After
already
a very promising start.
Perhaps the most challenging series so far. Ayamy, a strong start to her IndieCar debut, with a second place at Gateway and still a relatively large lead here. Almost a halfway point. The race will be official after this lap.
Alright, so also looking at the gaps here, there is Hana and also Nimune directly behind Ayamy, but I believe they are not on the lead lap. So there's already going to be challenges for the second place car. Oh, and that's Emma and Ojiki, and Ayamy is going to be blocked.
Oh man, it's this part of the track again, which had been causing issues. Emma is gone.
Oh dear. Okay. So I thought the hairpin is going to cause a lot of issues for the drivers involved, but turn 8? Wow.
And now Ayamy's lead has been cut to only 2.2 seconds ahead of Kawasaki Sui, as Ojiki has to drop into pit lane. Shamble till the last rounds. That was a Mint who went upside down. I see. Okay. Speaking of Mint, is she even in this race? I don't think so. I don't think she entered this race.
Yeah. Also, just wanted to highlight about Amami's gap to Sui here is now dropped down. Amami's now absolutely struggling with grip, and I believe she has damage on the car. And of course, for Sui,
look at the gap between second and third.
Yeah, 47 seconds between Saotomi and Sui, so it's going to be a 2-horse race for the win. But I would expect that if there's going to be even more collisions here, Ayamy is already having to pass Bao, who is already stricken at the exit of that corner, with Bao now coming in as a retirement. The gap is now absolutely dropped. Look at the gap. I would like you to check the gap between the leader and second. It's now dropped down to 1.8 tenths of a second, 1.8 seconds.
Yeah. Only 7 cars on the lead lap and 18 cars still in it, I suppose. Lena dropping into pit lane.
Oh yeah, just want to give a bit of a highlight here. Sui actually has some struggles here with trying to pass 2 lap cars, and now you can see here Nimune trying to unlap herself against Ayamy. Amami's going to be shoved off wide, which all cause trouble for Ayamy. Look at Kawasaki. Sui's now trying to essentially charge back.
Honda against Chevy here. Oh, careful there. Oh, this is the tricky section that has caused many a screw up.
All right,
they're fine at the moment. Shigure Ui going up to third. What happened to Nina?
So looks like she was involved in an accident and she had to go to the pits, which explains why she is now a lap down. Looks like we only have 6 cars on the lead lap with Nimune. I believe the last car on the lead lap after Sui is
right at Ayamy's tail. Go ahead.
So you can see here Nimune has already passed Ayamy, also Hana on the lead lap. But here comes Sui now down the inside possibly against Ayamy. Oh, there's contact!
Oh, unlucky for Sui. Yeah, that is contact when you don't want it to happen. When you just fine for the lead, but life just had to find a way.
The opportunity was squandered. Yeah, the opportunity was squandered there by Sui. It was right in front of her. The chance to get close to Ayamy, get closer to Ayamy, and then make the overtake. But also, I just want to highlight drivers actually struggling to avoid the wall at the apex at around before the turn 8 corner. And now we have Fallen Shadow now out.
Shadow. As the sound effects doesn't want to work for me. Okay, now it does. She's going to end up being an obstacle, I think, for drivers that may come in.
Yeah, because I believe that she's actually stuck in between the racing line. That's going to cause a lot of trouble for all the drivers passing through the bridge. As we are now coming into lap 13. Oh, it looks like there's another contact. I believe, someone's made contact with her, and now the rear wing is gone.
Ooh, probably Nina that made contact. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Nina Saotomi. Front wing sheared off once again, and that will mean that she will have to make a second trip to the pits. Meanwhile, we have Ayamy still hanging on to the lead, and while we were supposed to say Kawasaki Sui is coming in close, she does have front wing damage and she will have to pit. So all eyes will be on Ayamy and to see if she's able to hang on to this race lead and just hang on for this win.
Watch out! Oh!
And that's Ayamy, the front. Oh dear, front wing and front left tire sheared off. You can see here on the replay here, Ayamy just strolls by on the back straight and then gets collected by Fallen Shadows' stricken car. That's the rear wing also gone. And
she is gone. She is gone.
Oh dear.
Well,
that's the leader out of race.
This is a race, ladies and gentlemen. This is an street race.
And now Shigure Ui is going to be taking the spoils here after Ayamy has essentially bottled her chance to maintain the lead and a race win. Now Shigure Ui is going to try to see if she's able to dodge. Looks like Fallen Shadow is already quite far away from the racing line. At least she's not in the bridge anymore. So Shigure Ui should be able to hang on to this race lead. Yeah, front wing's gone, so she'll have to pit. So let's see who are the drivers running in second. Kawasaki Sui. There's also an Akuma Nimune. And so from only 3 drivers on the lead lap, with Ayamy now crashing out, we now have more drivers on the lead lap now.
Kawasaki Sui, her very first race, she didn't enter Gateway, so this is her IndieCar debut race, and here she is up in front with less than 5 to go here, provided the time doesn't go over.
Anyways, we have confirmation that Ayamy has DNF from this race, and she will continue to drop down on the standings, but I believe she will be able to at least salvage a top 20 due to the other incidents that have actually occurred. Just wanted to check here. Yeah, looks like she will be able to hang around in maybe 19th place. We've also Cinder now being involved in accidents. We have an engine failure, also Miyashinoshiki.
Long Beach, more like Long Day Beach. Yeah, you're definitely right, Chrono. You're definitely right about that.
Also, I just wanted to also highlight this one. It feels like no matter what series goes to Long Beach, there's always going to be crazy incidents that happen in this track. I actually, going back into last year's Formula Hall Live race for the international round, it was actually an invitational at that time. There were multiple incidents at the hairpin. But for problems outside of the hairpin, there isn't actually too much problems. But I think, we will need to pay attention to the current situation here on the drivers here. Because now we have Kawasaki Sui now maintaining a 15-second lead over second.
Gotta watch out for that dangerous section of the track, though.
Oh,
come
there's a bump
on,
there.
We have someone vying for the lead. Don't mess things up for her.
Oh yeah, Kawasaki Sui actually going very wide here, coming into turn 8, and now we get to see Aranya now trying to get her lap back against Sui, and you can see here Sui's actually not very quick here, and Aranya is now going to try to make her move to unlap herself. Ooh, yeah.
Miraculously,
so now we have
10-10 has managed to make her way up to 7th.
Yeah, after the early incident, just wanted to remind you of the story of the tortoise and the hare. I feel like Ayamy was channeling her inner hare in that race. Now, and instead of complacency that brought her down, it is a massive crash that involved her and Fallen Shadow that would be her downfall for this race, as she's now at DNF.
So, tortoises, turtles, similar to tortoises. Turtles are green.
Yeah, and they have a shell by
green highlights. And, of course, these cars have a nice exoskeleton as Aranya regains
makes
her
her move
lost
to unlap
lap.
herself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost 9-second lead going into lap 18.
So just wanted to give a bit of a highlight here. Doki Bird running in 11th despite being a lap down.
Well,
And
never
then we
mind.
have.
She's out of the race.
Oh my gosh. We mentioned about our driver actually having a pretty decent run, and then suddenly we have a driver already retiring. What commentator? Oh, actually, we have a car, 2 cars flipped, and that's Ayamy and Sarwe.
Watch
Oh,
out,
and
Yanners.
Natasha Nyanyers. Ooh.
Luckily, 1010 avoided further disaster. Man, look at that damage on Captain Hannah's car.
Yeah, there is the engine cover off,
So we
the
having
rear wing off.
to get past the damage. As Ayamy goes into pit lane, end of her race.
Looking at the amount of laps left, we don't have much left here in this race. We're about to come into the final lap. Let's see how it goes.
Will it be white flag or checkered flag due to the 25-minute time limit? We'll see what it is. Indeed, it is white flag.
Yeah, with 18 laps complete, Kawasaki Sui has done very, very well to keep herself out of danger and to remain consistent throughout this entire race, while all the other drivers have faltered due to multiple incidents that have happened. Kawasaki Sui has remained resilient and just manages to keep the car on the track. And I want to know about the history about the wins for Kawasaki Sui. Let's explain.
None as of yet.
So we're going to be seeing Sui being able to get a debut win. Now, I just want to give a bit of a highlight. If you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, his signature celebration is called the Sui, where he essentially suis himself in front of fans. Let's see how it goes for Kawasaki.
It's more like a Sue! But for Sui, she might as well go Sui! As she will approach the finish line and on debut get the victory here at Long Beach. Congratulations, Kawasaki Sui, your winner here at Long Beach. IndieCar Rookie Magic is back, baby.
IndyCar Rookie Magic, indeed. As you can see here, we already had the wins at Gateway and Long Beach, and of course, there's a lot of incidents that have been involved here in Long Beach. Long Beach takes essentially the lives and catches victim of many drivers. And it looks to me, I want to check the retirement list. As you can see here, Shigure Ui manages to finish 3rd, with Akuma Nimunye after a crash in Gateway finishes 2nd. And then we have Kiki Pyeonpyeon 4th, Hore 1010 after the early crash gets 5th as a result. Ami Aranya 6th, Shai Lee 7th, and then Nina Tomi 8th, and on 9th, and Lena Lazar in 10th.
Problem with late race finishes the end of the race. Some cars will end up pitting and thus prolonging the race. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then we have Yuki Sakuna still on a free flip in the void. I'm not sure what happened there. But anyways,
we'll have to wait a bit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, just want to give a bit of a highlight here. 12 cars finished the race. Saroi is the last known DNF. Only 12 cars managed to cross the line.
So, luckily, after all that, 10-10 managed to finish 5th. Did someone clip the Sue? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just need to lock in the points. We still got one more race for tonight.
All right. So just want to give a bit of a rundown on the results here, because we have Kawasaki Sui taking her debut win in, of course, IndyCar competitions, and we have Akuma Nimune in 2nd, Shigure Ui 3rd, Kiki Pyeonpyeon 4th, Hore 1010 5th with Ami Aranya 6th, Shaila Lee 7th with Nina Saotomi 8th, Lena Lazar 9th, and Anon Non in 10th. Ojiki hangs on in 11th with Captain Hana 12 as the last drivers who finished the race. Only 6 cars finished on the late lap. And then we have Sarway 13th, Ayamy 14th, Nacho Neko, aka Amashiro Natsuki 15th, Natasha Nyanyers in 16th, Doki Bird 17th, Amami in 18th, Cinder 19th, Fallen Shadow 20th, Bao 21st, Omiya Emma in 22nd, Miyoshinoshiki is in 23rd, Hanamori Healthy 24th, and then we have Tenjin Kotone 25th, Tomoe Umari 26th, Yuki Sakana 27th, Hoshifuri Iku 28th, Kitanya 29th, and Suo Patra, the last driver running in this race, in 30th.
So, that's what you call an street circuit race. Well then. Look at the points, see who leads here, the championship. It was gonna be Ayamy, but I don't know about that. So we're supposed to have 2 DNQs and 8 absences. That looks correct, and that doesn't look right. Just need to make sure I set things correctly.
Oh yeah, well, while Dag actually is going to set up the points here, I just wanted to highlight about a quote by a former Formula One driver by the name of Julian Palmer. Now, the funny thing about what he said is that he said this in quote, "You have to be alert on a street circuit." But of course, we get to see how brutal street circuits can be with little to no runoff, barriers right in front of you, and essentially the walls just coming right at you if you make a mistake. And of course, we also want to mention the brutality of Long Beach as a street circuit. We've seen leads being bottled, crazy crashes happening in the most unsuspecting places. So yeah, first 2 races, while Gateway was a close race to the finish in a what is almost going to be like stock car super speedway racing, and also we have essentially Long Beach, which is essentially a massacre on 4 wheels. Let's see how the third race goes at Pocono. Dag?
These points standings make no sense. It's supposed to be Kawasaki Sui getting the win, but why is it having
Ayamy
getting the win? That makes no sense.
All right. I just wanted to highlight where did Sui actually finish in Gateway? Because we of course want to mention that Sui actually got the win here.
Absentee.
So I wanted to know what
absentee at Gateway.
All right. So let's just assume. Well, we're going to fix the championship standings later. And for now, let's just assume that Ayamy continues to hang on to his championship lead due to Sui actually being a non-attendee at Gateway. So let's just assume that of course, as you mentioned, Ayamy has the lead.
Oh well, here's your problem. Here is your problem. It's the dreaded number positioning madness.
Yup. Yeah.
I noticed
that's gotta be
Limu is up there and Sakuna is there, and that's just silly.
All right, so I'm not. So let's probably give time to Dag to sort out the championship standings issues. Of course, you're not alone in this because if you wanted to talk about Assetto Corsa, because sometimes Assetto Corsa, if the client crashes, then the results just do not process and the championship standings just don't load automatically. So that's also an issue.
So I'm gonna have to do this, and then no, I gotta do this, and then do this, and then to maintain proper order, and then this, and then take this points file.
Okay.
Am I hearing myself?
That's just my end. Someone actually trying to tell me if there's something going on. So excuse the slight background noise.
And things look correct. Okay. Yes, Shigure Ui third and Numi fourth, and a bonus point for pole going to Yuki Sakuna. So after all that, Sakuna comes away with just 2 points and 3 overall in the championship after 2 rounds. Great.
So I believe we are now set to move to Pocono.
First, we're gonna showcase the points total. Lena Lazar leading the championship with 94 points. Second is Kawasaki Sui with 70. Third is Ayamy with 58. Fourth is Kiki Pion with 54, and Numi with 51. And we have yet to hear from 4 drivers: Watakashi Uno, Nirosama, Mint Phantom, and Laimu. Really? All right. Gonna take a break for just a couple moments. Yeah, the Tricky Triangle. We're going to Pocono. That will be coming up in just a couple of moments. We're gonna take a break, and then we will be heading over to Pocono in Pennsylvania for round 3. Stay up here, everyone. Gonna take a break. Alrighty, here we are back in live action. I already know that we are gonna go well over 2 hours, but it's gonna be worth it, cause Doc, your commentary, your insights, your knowledge about the VTubers racing, your racing expertise, man.
Yes, thank you.
Very, very good.
Yeah, thank you for the compliment, as we're now getting into Pocono Raceway, as we're about to get into round 3 of the IndyCar VTuber Racing Championship. We're now coming into the Tricky Triangle in Long Pond, Pennsylvania at Pocono Raceway. Only 3 corners for everyone to deal with, and each of these corners have a different levels of banking. Turn 1 only has 14 degrees, turn 2 8 degrees, and turn 3 6 degrees. So each of these 3 corners you have to approach it differently, as you want to try to maximize your cars in these specific areas. So because of differing corner types. You can have a car that's good in turn 1, but struggle in turns 2 and 3, and vice versa. So there's a bit of a finicky balancing act that you need to do with setting up the cars while you are trying to set up your cars for Pocono. Maybe you want to go for a car that's very good on the straight line speed, but will struggle in the corners, or you want to have a good cornering car but suffer at the end of the straight. So there's a lot of setup compromises that you need to do in Pocono for you to have the best car for this track. And of course, this is a driver's track more than ever, as we now get into the track preview now, coming into turn 1, going into around in excess of 220 plus miles per hour into turn 1. This first corner is actually the heaviest bank corner, as we mentioned here, at around 14 degrees, and then turn 2 is a bit flatter and it's a bit more flat out. It's only at 8 degrees, as you can see here. And then there's a short run into turn 3, and then turn 3 is actually very, very open, but you're gonna have to be very gentle on the throttle as it's only 6 degrees. And now you're coming into the main straight, and that should be a lap here in Pocono. So watch out for the setup differences.
Oh yeah, Pocono has seen its share of triumphs, has seen its share of tragedies. First race of the series with the super speedway hits, and expect perhaps some very wide racing. Real life IndieCar has seen like 7 wide action. This is how big this track is, how wide the lanes are. So we are gonna get set to begin here. Load.
All right. So as we mentioned here, the fastest lap for the Triangle Oval is set by Ryan Briscoe in 2014 with a 220 mile per hour race lap record with a time set at 40.9009 seconds. So again, as with all races, can't wait to see how this turns out and see how the qualifying has run its course.
Oh no, Mint again failed to qualify.
Oh dear. Man, with only 30 cars starting this race, the qualifying woes continue for Min Fantome, who again fails to qualify. And joining her on the sidelines will be Shigure Ui, Tomoe Umari, Miyoshino Shiki, and Ayamy, who are going to be joining Min Fantome on the sidelines.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, we got to see Kawasaki Sui.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, Kawasaki Sui, Fallen Shadow, and Nirosama barely make it out of qualifying. And also we have Ida Pochi, Captain Hana, Bao, and Cinder also not far behind as well. So yeah, again, we have another stock DNFer with Min Fantome, Shigure Ui, Tomoe Umari, Miyoshino Shiki, and Ayamy.
Man, Mint and her new mama both failing to qualify for Pocono. Another miss for Mint to start off her series. And she's supposed to have a new updated design too to show up on her livery, and hate for that to go to waste. Nero making her debut debut for at least this series, her first appearance this month, as we will see Suopatra
taking the pole position. And then joining her on the front row will be also Watagashi Uno with Kiki Pyeonpyeon and Akuma Nimune in the second row. And then we have Hore 1010 in 5th, Lena Lazar 6th, Doobie and Saray make up row 4, with Anon Non and Ruroda making up the top 10. And then we also have Hoshifuri Iku with Amiya Aranya in 12th place. I hope you are recording and also setting up the grid here.
Suopatra, that's taking pole at the site of her very first podium. Third place over there. And she's hoping to get her very first win, hopefully, as we get through the next batch of names.
Yeah, we have Ani and Ojiki running on the 7th row with Omiya Enma in 15th and Shy Lily 16th. Natasha Nanyers in 17th with Laimu in 18th. Hey, I haven't seen Laimu in a while. Yuki Sakuna and Doki Bird, both very much popular indies who made their debut this year in 19th and 20th. And then there's Vivi in 21st with Amiyamami 22nd. Yaso Toiki in 23rd with Ida Pochi, as I mentioned, in 24th. Captain Hana 25th. Bao 26. Cinder and Kawasaki Soul will start on the 14th row at the back with Fallen Shadow and Yorosama making up the rest of the field here in 29th and 30th.
Yes, that's all 30 cars set to go for this 32-lap race. So this is the first Super Speedway round on this 2.5-mile tricky triangle Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania.
All right, so we can't wait to see how this race goes with these 30 cars lining up on the grid. Of course, we have both Amiyamami and Kawasaki Sui also starting this race as race winners in this race already. The incumbent race winner, of course, Sui, is going to be starting way at the back in 28th. Let's see if there's going to be some sort of a last to first challenge that we may be able to see.
All right, then. Bring up the music and then get right to the pace lap and then get to the racing. Here we go.
All right, so I just wanted to get a bit of a highlight here. We have Watagashi Uno and Suopatra now getting out of their pit roads here to go behind a safety car for this formation lap. So, Dak, what are your expectations coming into this race?
Well, I'm hoping to hopefully Patra will get the win, but might as well be anyone's race.
I also wanted to highlight one more thing here.
This is a popular
about,
track in the IndieCar racing series. I'm gonna fast forward the opening pace lap a bit. Go ahead.
So anyways, as we're about to get into turn 3, we're already in the middle of turn 2. What about the crash history here in Pocono?
Some crashes, I don't remember. It's been a long time since we've raced here, but yeah. But it's usually cleaner racing than the real-life races in IndyCar years ago. But anyway, we are set to begin.
All right.
Patra and Uno, your front row for this round 3 of 12 here at Pocono. Green flag is waved. Here we go. And the TV ticker does work this time. Whoa, look at that. Bit of a jump by Lena, Numi, and especially Watagashi Uno. Suopatra
had to check up in the first corner here, has to back up the rest of the field here, as most of the drivers are now coming into turn 2. Watagashi Uno now has to defend against the second place charging car. Nimune now from crashing out in the pit lane after being a victim of that pit lane incident at Gateway. She's now going to try to plot for vengeance coming into the race lead, but watch out for Lena Lazar.
Uno, Numi, Lena after 1.
Ooh, and Nimune trying to go down the inside, but Uno has to hang on.
Clean first lap by everyone. But there's still 31 to go. And it's going to be a big challenge here. Patra still looking for her first win, hopefully, but there's a big challenge ahead of her, most definitely, as Series 12 or 13 champion, I think Series 12 champion Rudo Lion is 4th, but might as well be taken over by a couple more drivers. Side-by-side action in the front 2 rows. As a few cars go into pit lane, Doobie, Iku, Sui,
and oh dear. Looks like they made contact with some other drivers at the start of the race. So these are your first casualties here in Pocono Raceway. Meanwhile, we have Takashi Uno trying to defend against Suopatra. Suopatra's gonna try to go down the inside. Oh, that's a front wing damage. I saw front wing damage from Suopatra, but I think it's from another car.
One of the cars that's currently in pit lane.
Yeah,
probably
it's
Iku. That's a pink one.
Yeah.
And Nero and Fallen Shadow.
Yeah, Nero-sama's gonna take a good amount of time in the pit lane. I saw the front and rear wings gone. Meanwhile, we have Uno and Patra now going down the inside. Patra has to think better off as Uno manages to use the outside line to great effect to maintain her spot in the lead.
Thought I saw a bit of 3-wide action behind the race leaders.
We can see here 10-10 now going down the inside of Saraway. And you can also get to see Nimune continuing to lose out on that straight line speed. Meanwhile, 10-10 is going to also hang around the outside. Meanwhile, there's Aranya now pulling away from the pack here as Nimune now is going to try to defend against Saraway. Meanwhile, looking into the drivers further up front, here comes Lena Lazar into Suopatra.
Nothing doing here.
As we mentioned here,
all
the
Honda
outside
top
lane
4.
actually working. Yeah, you can see here Lena Lazar absolutely struggle on that exit of turn 2, and now Lena Lazar has caught victim of Rudo. And meanwhile, we also get to see other drivers now catching up.
Drivers seem currently content to drive single file. It is early on in the race. On this sort of misshapen Hololive logo, as Chrono has mentioned.
Yeah, it is a triangle. The Hololive logo is a triangle, and of course, we have a slightly deformed triangle, which is Pocono, which is in the name, although the name is tricky instead of misshape. But anyway, Suopatra now hangs on to the race lead after a hard-fought battle with Watagashi Uno. Let's see if Suopatra should be able to hang on. But it looks to me that with a huge track and a largely spread out field, the odds of these drivers actually going into one another is going to be very, very low.
Already a few drivers being lapped. We have Sui and Nero 1 down, Doobie, Shadow, and Iku each 2 down.
Yeah, you can see here, now we have Suopatra now almost under pressure from Watagashi Uno, but this time it's going to be Uno who was under pressure, but made use of the good exit speed at turn 2 to actually fight back against the third place driver that is actually, I can't remember the name, Lena Lazar. So very, very much great action here. Meanwhile, as we're now coming into around 25 laps to go, as we get to see Suopatra maintaining her spot in the race lead here. Only 2 cars within a second of Suopatra right now.
Uno quickly approaching the former Nanashi Inku driver. Nothing doing
Suopatra
here at turn 2.
Yeah, you can see here the outside line is king at turn 2. We will got Lena Lazar trying to attack Watagashi Uno, who had to check up at turn 2. But again, as we mentioned here, the outside line is just very good for defense. Squeeze them in the inside line, force them to sacrifice some of their speed going in. It's a great defensive tactic here, at least in the ovals. So
many near misses on the turns, trying to overtake one another. We've seen already here in this round.
Ooh, you can see here Aranya now trying to make it 3 wide against Shine Lily and Rudo.
What a shot right there. Bit of 3 wide action. And it's quite easy to go 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide on a track with such wide lanes as this one.
Also, just wanted to point out a few things here. Oh yeah, we actually have a new retirement here actually. Looking into the drivers who have already come into the pit, or rather that's Nurosama having to make another pit stop. I don't think no one has retired yet. Everyone is still in it. Oh, but meanwhile, you can see here Nurosama actually having, looking at Nurosama, who is coming out of the pit on cold tires. She's actually bunching up the other drivers here. Emma and Dokibird have to check up. Meanwhile, behind Hirosama is now Yuki Sakuna and Bao.
Ooh.
We got a few drivers going double file, and now you can see here the outside line continuing to be king here in Pocono as Yuki Sakuna tried to hang around the inside, but the grip just wasn't there.
A bit more spread out toward the front, although the front three are very close to each other. What's the gap between third and fourth?
And
Around 2.5 seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, 1/10 of a second between Suopatra and Watagashi Uno, so watch out for this lead lap battle here. Meanwhile, we got Lena Lazar trying to go down the inside, trying to hang around the inside. But again, as we mentioned here, you need to go around the outside if you want to have a great move against your opponent, if you want to gain some positions. And if you stay on the inside, you're going to be losing some time here and also losing some pace and grip, because I will believe there's more grip on the outside line than there is on the inside. As we get to see Nimune and Saraway maintaining their battles between each other. Here comes Laimu. Laimu is going to be looking for some space here, forces Saraway on the outside, which now allows Laimu to make a move. And now Laimu might think of a switchback, with Nimune forcing Laimu down the inside. Laimu might have to think of a better avenue of attack. But now we get to see Laimu actually struggling on this exit. She's now going to have to pay attention to another driver at the back, as we get to see Saraway now making a move against Laimu.
Oh no, 10-10 having to go into pit lane. Must have lost the front wing. Going down a few spots. Captain Hannah also having issues.
It looks to me that there may be damage on these cars. So first actual large speedway race here in the season, and we already get to see some crazy events that have gone on. Meanwhile, we also have Lena Lazar trying to catch up to Suopatra. As we mentioned here, she got a debut podium a few years back, or rather a year back, right here in Pocono. Well, let's see if Suopatra...
Actually, her very first win, which I believe was her very first podium, was in Indianapolis. Was in the Indianapolis Road Course. Oh yeah. You're referring to Patra, who got her very first podium last year on this track. So yeah.
All right, so Suopatra is looking for her first career win here in the track where she got her first podium. Meanwhile, we got Lena Lazar trying to think of a move down the inside, but again, Suopatra manages to place her car in a strategic position on which she's able to maintain a good exit speed. Now you can see Lena Lazar having to pay for having to go down the inside.
Uno up to second. Amiya Aranya, who won on a different 2.5 mile oval, making her way up to 3 behind 2 Honda cars. 2 more or less former Corpo VTubers, and Ami is herself a former Corpo VTuber.
And you can see here Aranya manages to beat, it looks like, it's not Ami, Aranya actually beating out Uno, or rather something else. Anyways, here comes Lena Lazard now trying to catch up to Uno. Meanwhile, Suopatra managing to not exactly cruise to a lead, but her lead is at least slightly more comfortable than the others.
Fun fact, Patra in the Persona games has a skill to cure some ailments, including distress, panic, and fear. Interesting fact. Thank you for that again, Chrono.
So anyways, just wanted to point out a few things that I actually wanted to highlight here. Here comes Iku, who actually was running at the back of the field, trying to catch up to Ani. I want to know about Yuki Sakuna, though. What's her position right now? We got Jubi trying to go around the outside.
Sakuna, 20th.
Yeah, you can see here she's absolutely trying to charge her way into the top 10, but right now we are now coming into the halfway stage of this race. And in front of her is Toiki and Cinder. Haven't seen much of Toiki and Cinder. How have they been doing in recent times?
Well, Toiki was a rookie last series. I believe she managed to finish 4th in the championship standings.
Ah, yes.
Very
the
strong.
Rookie championship upset.
Very strong start to her IndieCar tenure. Cinder probably wasn't quite as hot. No pun intended.
Whoosh.
Shot.
Oh, meanwhile, actually, the gaps are now dropped down once again. We now have Watagashi Uno and Suopatra, the front row sitters who started this race on the front row, are going to be challenging between each other. As you can see here, you can see here that Lena Lazar is going to try to go against Suopatra on the outside. And here comes Watagashi Uno.
Oh, man. Uno having to back away. Lena looking for her second win of the championship already in the first 3 races, and both on ovals.
You can see here, Lena Lazar is going to try to probably take a move down the outside, forces Suopatra to essentially check up in the middle of the corner and lose some cornering speed. But you can see here, Lena Lazar trying to continue on the pressure on Suopatra, but Patra's her resilience is actually pretty good here at the moment, trying to soak up the pressure against Lena Lazar and forces Lena Lazar to actually back up.
Again, inside line, nothing doing. Outside line is the way to go as we come down to 13 laps here.
Ooh, yeah.
Uno.
You can see here Watagashi
making her way
Uno
back up to second.
Yeah, she was actually taking advantage of Lena Lazar actually messing up her run in turn 3, trying to go down the inside, but loses a lot of time in the process. Should be staying a bit further around the outside. Meanwhile, we got Watagashi Uno trying to make a move. Lena Lazar is back.
Ayamy enters the picture. Wants to join in on the front. Wants to join in on the fun. Hoping to get another podium to her name. Maybe even a win.
So
was
also
strong at Gateway. Not nearly as strong in Long Beach.
So anyway, you can see here. Yeah, also just wanted to highlight about one few things. Well, not just Watagashi Uno actually beating Suopatra here, with Lena Lazar actually taking the race lead. Look at the gaps between first and fifth, which is at around 1.2 seconds here between Lena Lazar and Rudo.
I believe they're all within 0.8 something as Uno jumps ahead.
Ooh, yeah. This is going to be very interesting here. All of these drivers averaging at around 200 miles per hour in all sections of this racetrack. You can tell that this track exudes a lot of speed here. And of course, you can see Lena Lazar trying to hang around, trying to defend against Suopatra, who's now up into second.
Uno did not compete in the last series, had to take a series break. I believe she didn't. I believe she was only part-time in May. I don't know if she qualified for the 500. I don't think she did. Had to sit out August, and here she is back for November and vying for a win. But gotta watch out for Patra, who seems to love racing on this track, wants to get her very first win on here, where she got her very first podium.
Oh, yeah, it was in last year, but now you can see Suopatra trying to force Uno around the outside, trying to force her onto the marbles, but Patra still too far back. Maybe, just maybe, if Suopatra can get onto the back at around the most opportune moment and use the slipstream to essentially force Watagashi Uno to chicken out. Meanwhile, both of these drivers need to watch out for Ayamy. And of course, as we mentioned here, Ayamy has already made the move down the inside, which is not the favorable line here in Pocono. Coming into less than 10 laps to go, Suopatra now has to defend against Lena Lazar's now trying to make a move around the inside. Suopatra now having a very good launch here.
Patra fast approaching Uno, but inside line. Maybe on the front stretch, but on the turns, not quite, as you see here.
Oh dear. Oh dear. And you can see Uno managing to hang on to her lead. But meanwhile, Suopatra now having to soak up the pressure between herself and Lena Lazar. And now it's Ayamy now, I believe, around the outside of Lena Lazar. And now Lazar has to back off. And now Nimune, where did she come from? She's now into fifth.
Fourth. Whoa!
Oh, there's contact between
Careful.
Rudo and Aranya. If it was real life, then there would have been a puncher immediately from Rurudo's end. But for at the moment, for now, these two should be able to continue. As we now come into around 8 laps to go, Uno still hangs on to the lead, and also Patra's going to be under pressure for Ayamy. But will Patra be able to hang around the outside?
Ayamy up to second.
Yeah, but I think Ayamy has to sacrifice some exit speed as she was trying to get herself ahead. Now Patra is going to use the slipstream to see if she can get closer and closer, but I don't think she may be able to make it move down the inside. Meanwhile, we got Lena Lazar trying to go around the outside of Nimura. As you can see here, Lazar trying to hang around the outside, but it's not going to be worth it here as Nimune now goes up into, I believe, in 4th place from what we're seeing. Oh, here comes
Patra on the inside, hoping to clear before the turn is made, and does go clear. Patra back up to second, just ahead of Ayamy.
And now the goal is to get closer to Watagashi Uno, who is currently a second ahead of Suo Patra. But this will change in a whim here, as you can see here. If Uno continues to if Uno starts to struggle with the tire wear and possibly changing track conditions, the race may fall into Suo Patra's hands, and we'll see how it goes.
Number of laps running out quickly. Vivi, who finished dead last in the last series, having to pit here. Not a
Anyways,
good. It wasn't a good rookie series for Vivi, fresh off of winning Indy Lights. Currently struggling early on in her sophomore series. As we have less than 5 to go here. Still anyone's race.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game here. As you can see here, Ayamy and Watagashi Uno. Uno's gap to actually Suo Patra has now dropped down. As you can see here, it's now dropped down to 0.6 of a second. And also Ayamy, who's now dropped down to 0.2 of a second behind Suo Patra. So it's still Uno in control of this race, but only barely. But we now are about to come into 4 laps to go. And right now, Uno is in control of this race. It's now one-handed race.
Nero.
Oh, and that's Nero-sama!
Nero has dropped into the void. Already it took so long to have a driver fall out completely. I mean, literally, of course.
Oh, speaking of which, here comes Suo Patra!
Patra! But gotta watch out for the others. Leads can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, as we mentioned here, now coming into 3 laps to go, Suo Patra found the opportunity and she absolutely took it. Speaking of which, looking into Watagashi Uno, who's now dropped down into 3rd place. And now we have Ayamy now up into 2nd. Suo Patra just needs to defend these final 3 laps.
Inside line for Uno, Ayamy, though.
Oh dear, Uno's
Aranya to 4.
And meanwhile, we got Ayamy managing to defend in 2nd place with the outside line. Uno hanging around the inside, forces Aranya off wide. That's probably the only time you can use the inside line for. Meanwhile, we have Nimune. Oh, there's contact between Lena Lazar and Nimune. And now coming to 2 laps to go. Let's see how this goes.
Patra, hoping to love this track even more. Needs to survive the rest of the way if she wants to get her very first win. Gotta watch out for Uno, Ayamy, Aranya et al.
So anyways, the gap between Uno and Patra is now at around 0.5 of a second. Just want to watch the timing tower at the bottom here as we're now about to start the final lap. Suo Patra needs to nail this final lap. Don't give anything to Uno on this final stretch.
White flag here. Uno fast approaching Patra.
Ooh, and it's gonna be Suo Patra being able to defend in the first corner. Let's see how she goes in the second.
Also
but watch out for Ayamy.
Yeah.
So watch out for the Ayamy who's gonna try to spoil the party for Uno, who may want to make it dose for her. And oh, you can see here, Swapatra has struggled on turn 2.
Patra on the outside line. Patra goes up ahead. And Patra finally scores her first IndyCar win. Patra wins at Pocono.
Oh my goodness, this is a very, very popular win here. Swapatra, first podium last year, first win this year. You can't help but smile at this victory here. It's also a very deserving win. She, of course, started on pole position, converted it into a win. It wasn't easy having to defend against a charging Watagashi Uno who had to settle for dos.
Uno settles for dos indeed. Ayamy, another podium for her. Second at Gateway and third at Pocono. I think she likes oval races in IndyCar. Well, there are some oval races in Corporal Car, but oval racing in IndyCar certainly does hit different.
Yeah,
but what a night we've been having. 2 first-time race winners tonight. First, Kawasaki Sui, who won at Long Beach, and now Suopatra finally
winning here in Pocono.
Suopatra now definitely loves this place. Congratulations, Suopatra.
Yeah, you have to say that this is a very deserving win. All these wins in these first 3 races of the season have got to be deserving. For you got a very popular win in Gateway, and then we have Sui winning in Long Beach, and now you get to see Suopatra taking this win in Pocono. As we're about to get the scan into the results, Dak, I hope you're ready to get your TXT files ready. So it's Suopatra with the win, with Watagashi Uno having to settle for dos. Ayamy 3rd, Ami Aranya 4th, Akuma Nimune is in 5th, Natasha Nyaners in 6th, Lionel Lazar 7th, Rudo 8th, Shiley 9th, and Limo in the top 10. Meanwhile, in 11th, it's Doki Bird with Omiya Emma in 12th, Sarway 13th, Anon in 14th, Ojiki 15th, Ida Pochi 16th, Yaso Toiki in 17th with Cinder 18th, Yuki Sakuna 19th with her decent finishes here in Pocono, with Hore 1010 actually being the first car lap down. Kiki Pion is in 21st with Captain Hana 22nd with Bao 23rd. And now scrolling into 24th is going to be Kawasaki Sui, who is in 24th with Annie 25th, Vividly Vivi in 26th, Hoshifuri EQ 27th, Doobie 28th, Fallen Shadow 29th, and Urosama in 30th. So with the results coming in and with the end of the stream coming up, what are your thoughts?
Exciting races to open up the series, most definitely. Yeah. A bit too much chaos for my liking for Long Beach, but at least we got a first-time winner and a rookie winner, too, out of it.
And not to mention, the oval racing here in the first 3 races of the season has been spot on. You got to see a almost pack racing type of race at Gateway, and then a very tight race for the win in Pocono. You can't ask for a better race than this, at least for the Indies.
Yeah, I'm most concerned about the race at Nazareth, though, next weekend, because, yeesh, yeah. I don't know if the track was built correctly in R Factor. The racing line doesn't look right. Yeah, especially at the start-finish. I noticed the car tends to slow down, just brake a bit, and then just slight left, slight right on the start-finish, and that's gonna cause some, pile-ups
issues
right there.
Yeah. So let's see if there's going to be some rectifications of the issues coming up in the next 3 races of the season. But yeah, it's been a very interesting first 3 races of the season. And also, I wanted to know about the championship standings.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do right now. Oval classification is currently led by Elena Lazar, 98 points from ovals. Ayamy second with 90 from ovals. Suopatra, 83. Uno fourth, 50. Amia Aranya 5th with 44. And overall, it's currently led by the Indy 500 runner-up, Lena Lazar, the New Zealander. Ayamy, on debut, 2nd with 98 points. Suo Patra 3rd with 84, and then Akaba Nimone 83. Amia Aranya at 74, and we have yet to see Mint show up for a race. Only one so far who has yet to earn any points.
Yeah, with 3 consecutive DNFs, it's not going to look good. It's already not looking good for Min Fantome for the first 3 races of the season. Let's just hope that she will bounce back stronger in the second quarter.
Yeah. So, before we go, anything you would like to promote?
So anyways, if there's no streams coming up in the from the VTRP in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I just wanted to highlight with you the aero have actually announced the start of a new Hall GT3 season for 2024-2025. You can head to the ADAC RMS organization channel for more details. But we will be seeing the JP and Regloss cars take to the track for the first time in the 24-25 season at Sportsland Sugo. Oh wait, is it Sportsland Sugo? But I'm just gonna need to check back on the schedule here. Yeah, it's going to be the first race. The first race is going to be at Sportsland Sugo for the Sugo 500. At least that will be on August 23rd and November 23rd and 24th. And then a week after that, it will be Formula Hall license season finale at Motegi, the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, which will be hosted in around late November, early December. But for the IndieCar, this VTuber racing series, the next races will be at Chicago, Akron, and Austin for the essentially the second quarter of the season on November 10th, which will be the second quarter of the season. So I'll be very much curious to see how the second quarter of the season goes for IndieCar.
Yeah, IndieCar. We're going to be racing on the NASCAR street course in Chicago, and then a fantasy track, the Akron Motor Speedway, 2-mile rectangular oval. Think Indianapolis, except only 2 miles in length, and then up to Austin, Circuit of the Americas to wrap up the first weekend of action. So that's going to wrap up here. And Anaka, thank you so much for your commentary. Glad to have you around to help commentate the races for the first time in the VTRP live stream action.
Yeah, nice to have me here. Nice to have you here. Can't wait to see the next races coming up in the second quarter of the season.
Yeah, looking forward to having you around for future streams in IndieCar and in other series. So yeah, back again on Sunday morning, I believe 10 a.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Eastern, I think 11 a.m. Eastern, for rounds 4 through 6, taking place at, of course, Chicago, Akron, and Austin. What crazy things might we see happen here? You'll have to tune in on Sunday morning to find out. Alright, so that's gonna be all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget we're also on Twitter, VTRP_racing. So, thank you again, and viewers, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you again on Sunday morning for more IndieCar action. Take care, everyone. Otsudag.